We are continuing our series on financial literacy today with Synergy Credit Union. And today I have Lisa Castle with me, and Lisa is the manager of retail administrative services for Synergy. So thank you so much for joining us, Lisa.
Thank you very much for having us.
And today we're going to talk about credit score. Now, I see all kinds of ads all over the place. Check your credit score here, there, wherever you want to check it.
Yes.
Where is a good source to get your credit score, and why is it so important?
Well, I think probably the best source is to go direct. So Equifax and TransUnion are probably the main two in Canada that you can utilize. And as a consumer, you can actually go and request those credit scores on your own. They are a little bit different than the ones we would see at the credit union, as they are driven to more of a consumer language, so they'll be very easy to understand and they won't have a bunch of jargon.
Right.
Your credit union can help you understand what those scores also mean and how to kind of help assess where you're at on those scores. So there's lots of advertisements right now that are kind of letting people know they should be aware of their credit score, and they're right, they should.
Now, what if you have made some mistakes in the past, or when you're younger, you maybe have defaulted on some payments and are concerned about now at your different age where you might want to be looking at buying a home? Is it too late to fix some of those mistakes?
It's not, and I think part of it is knowing and being educated right up front. But if you do make some mistakes, there's definitely some ways you can recover your credit score. First and foremost, I think the most misunderstood piece of credit, especially on credit cards, is the minimum payment. So if you have a $500, let's talk like you're a student, you have a $500 limit and you have a $10 minimum monthly payment, but last month you paid $100. So you think you're good. You're good, I paid $100, so it's fine. That minimum payment is expected every single month. So if you don't make it, it shows up as a late payment and therefore reduces your credit bureau score.
Right, something as easy as that.
Something as easy as that can make that score reduce. The other piece is your available balance available on credit as utilized and percentage utilized. So if you have that $500 limit and you're right at $500 all the time, the calculation says, ooh, this person has access to $500, but they've used it, they have no access to credit. So again, that's another piece that can actually reduce your credit score. So making sure that you're making those minimum payments and making sure that you're making, at least keeping your balances below zero, if not at zero. Right. Because I'm sure everybody's heard, but maybe doesn't understand that compounding interest is spectacular, and it will cost you a lot of money. That meal at McDonald's that you paid $10 for on your credit card you didn't pay for a few months is costing you a lot more than that $7.
Right, okay. And one of the reasons it's important to have a good credit score is if you're looking to buy a home.
Yes.
So a lot of people, rules have changed around what you can do to buy a home. So if you want to start to get into that mode, where do you even begin for something like that?
Well, I think that the most important thing is to use your financial institution as an advisor. Go and talk to them about what your goals are, what your 1-year goal is, what your 6-month goal is, what your 5-year goal is. Because at times when you're looking at purchasing something in the future, maybe you don't know everything you need to know. Maybe there's pieces of the puzzle that they can help you understand to get you well positioned to meet those goals. Because that's really what your financial institution is for, is to help you make financial progress and to be, to enhance your personal net worth. So join us in your conversation. It's okay. We understand that not everybody knows all the things that they need to know. So we don't expect you to come in knowing everything. Please come in, ask questions, be engaged in your financial success, because we want to partner with you.
And I think maybe that is the biggest thing, is that, and we've talked about this in almost all these segments, is people are scared. They think if I don't have money, or if I'm in a bad credit situation, they're not even going to speak to me.
That's right.
And that's something that I think we need to make everybody know, that in fact is not the case.
That's right. It's really about understanding the choices that you have and the choices that you make and the consequences each one of those has. But being really educated about those decisions that you make and allowing you that freedom to actually meet your goals. It's there's no judgment. Come, have a conversation. If something isn't exactly positioned the way you would really like it to be, or it's not going to help you meet your goal, we can have that open conversation and we can make suggestions, and then you get to choose. At least then understanding what the consequences of those choices are, and that comes with cars, that comes with RVs, that comes with homes. Come in, have a conversation, lay out what you hope to achieve, and we can help support those goals.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. And we'll be back next hour with more on our financial literacy series.
Thank you.
We are back with Lisa Castle. Lisa is the manager of retail administrative services for the Synergy Credit Union. Lisa, this time we're going to be talking about loans, and people get loans for all kinds of things.
Yes.
So where do you begin with this process, depending on if you're getting it for your house or for your car? Where do you even start?
Certainly, you can do a whole bunch of things. We have agents available to talk about those things over the phone. We have representatives available in our branches. So it really depends on what your comfort zone is, or if you're just trying to gather a bit of information before you come in, or what exactly you're looking for. But what I would say is start by making a bit of a plan. What do you want to achieve, right? So why are you coming in to see us, and what are some of your goals? Because that really helps us guide you down some of your option paths.
And I assume too that a lot of people are looking for mortgages, and with the changes that have come with the mortgages, can you help them figure out if it's something that they can afford or how much they can afford before they go to look? Because I know there's nothing worse than looking and then realizing, oh, it's out of our budget.
Yes, coming in and finding the dream home and realizing it's out of, unavailable to you. Absolutely, come in. We can do pre-approvals. We can share all the sorts of things that you would have to, what you would need in place, so that when you go and you make that offer on that home, you feel really confident about the decision that you're making, that it fits into your budget, and be open to sharing what your budget is. Because as organization, as a financial institution, we have guidelines. We have guidelines that this is the normal parameters that generally people can afford payments in.
Right.
But you need to tell us what your lifestyle is, because just because those are normal parameters doesn't mean they work for everyone. So dual income, no kids, with no childcare is completely different with the same income exactly of maybe somebody with two young children that need childcare, right? So that disposable income is going to be different, and it's really important for us to understand what you believe you can afford and then work backwards. And we can go through that whole process with you, but to make sure you're going to be okay, because just because you would fit those base requirements doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable for you.
So that's part of, in essence, living within your means that a lot of people talk about, that they say, well, it looks like on paper I can afford this, but then when I go, I've got this and this and this. I really can't live within my means. So is that something you can help figure out too?
Absolutely, yeah. We have lots of budgeting tools and can certainly sit down with you and go through, and everything from your property insurance to your life insurance to your vehicle insurance to your child care to groceries. So the general rule of thumb is no more than 40% of your gross income can go towards living and debt payments. And living in Canada includes heat,
right?
Because we kind of require it. So on let's say $1,000 salary, that means about $400 can go towards those things. That other $600 pays your income tax and your childcare and your groceries. So we can help really identify what line items you have coming out of your account, what commitments you've already made, and make sure that there's enough money over for whatever that purchase is, be it the home or a new vehicle, to make sure you're going to be able to make those obligations without being stressed. Debt doesn't have to be scary.
Right. I know people hear that word and they right away it has that negative connotation with it. But can you actually make your debt work for you?
Yes, absolutely. The way I like to explain it is, it's really, so when you borrow money from an institution, we're really just giving you access to money you would have earned over a period of time, but sooner.
Right.
So it's really your money, right? You're borrowing your money, so of course you can get it to work for you. You can meet financial goals by having some debt and also having some savings. And I know we've talked about emergency savings already. So making sure your financial house is really quite solid, that's what we're there to do to support you.
Okay, and if anybody would like information on anything that we've spoken about today, what's the best way to go about and reach out, I guess?
For sure. So we have many different ways to access Synergy Credit Union. So of course our website is www.synergycu.ca. We also have our contact center phone number, which is 1-866-825-3301 or 306-825-3301 if you're local. And then we also have a web help right on our website. And then of course we have our branches.
Okay, and people can just come in, say hi, and
come in,
whatever information they want.
Give us some information on what you want. We can sit down and just have a conversation just like we're doing today.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us, Lisa. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.